Nice to be here this evening. Tonight is a time to relax and to celebrate the season-long accomplishments of our most gifted coaches and athletes. We have 70 schools, more than 2,000 men and women playing basketball. Tonight, we honor the best of the best from the men area. A couple of reminders as we get to the awards presentations. We don't always know which award winners will be here tonight. So don't be surprised if some names are called, but the players are not here. When that happens, we ask someone from the matching program, please, to come up after the dinner and to pick up the award. Also, with so many trophies to produce, it does happen sometimes that a name is misspelled. And also we know we have a few plaques where the date was erroneously inscribed. And we're going to take care of that. If that happens, and it's on your plaque, please come over after the dinner. We'll get the trophy fixed and we'll mail it out to you next week. By the way, tonight's event is being live streamed on the Med Basketball Writers website. Further, in just a few days, both the video of the dinner, the Haggerty Awards printed program which you have, along with a photo gallery, will all be accessible on the Met Basketball website. At this time, would Doug Feinberg from the Associated Press, member of the Met Writers Executive Committee, please just stand in place at your table. Let me say this. Doug is a long-time women's college basketball editor at the AP. He has been at the AP for 30 years, covering women's basketball for the past 20 years, including 17 Final Fours and 5 Olympics. And at this year's Women's Final Four in Tampa, Doug was inducted into the U.S. Basketball Writers Hall of Fame, which is a very on behalf of everyone here, Doug, job well done. We just stand for a second. You are joining a highly competitive conference in the MAC, and the tradition is long and healthy at Iona. Good luck. Ladies and gentlemen, since we last announced our All-Met selections in April of 2024, our Met basketball community has lost several dear individuals who have passed away. There is a special section in your printed program called In Memoriam that remembers 9 very special people who are no longer with us. Now, I'm not going to read a lot about them, it's in the program, but let me call their names. Lou Connor Secca from St. John's. Jack Powers from Manhattan College in the NIT. Mike Ballard from Wagner. Kevin Black from Rutgers. Jim Boatwright from Hofstra and LIU. Ted Hurwitz from CCNY, Lehman, and then the CUNY Conference. Elijah Olenai of Stony Brook. John Stanko of Iona and Barstool Sports. And Al Troutwig of Adelphi and the MSG Network. If you would now, please, turn your attention to large video screens at the front and back of the room for a special tribute remembering the life of Coach Louis.
St. John's is about the players. Coaches are important, yes, but it was always the players. They put the steak and potatoes on the table.
He's had the biggest impact on my life, on and off the court.
Coach, I wouldn't be who I am or where I am today if it wasn't for you.
He's a great person who you wanted to run through a wall for. Intense. He played as hard as we did on the court on the sideline.
speech as well as coach. He's my idea.
The first time I saw St. John's team play was 1942 in Madison Square Garden. That was my first experience watching St. John's, and I fell in love with it. The people I learned from had a pro background. I'm talking about Coach Leipzig, Frank Ryan, I learned.
And you threw the East at the first tournament there, the coach of Connor said, you guys, this is special. We're coming back to where we belong. Coach, we're walking with kids. The next day, all coming, post, and then the legal was on the backboard. It was cool.
It's just so much enthusiasm. You can feel it, just like wow.
Madison Square, St. John's against Georgetown. The stage is set. The winner tonight will be number one.
I came out to know what this was true.
I came in locker room, I had everything all closed up like that.
You stole my hair. You replicated it.
And you had a bit more.
Thank you, John. The place went wild. I didn't really upstage again with this run. Holding people, that really helped. It's just one of those wonderful things you can get all that work, all that worry, and then finally make it to Final Four, and you're going. It's something that you can't describe.
I think the best move of the night may have been the coach with time right now.
Can't breathe it easy. You're blowing it. Your hands in the sand. My happiness is in that.
Luke Carter second, 2014 District Coach in Dallas Model, St. John's. That's admired.
I was really fortunate. And I was able at least to pick the time, and I felt those times. And my guys, I still yell at them, praise them, got mad at them, loathe them. I still love them.
Thank you, everyone. Now a special request from this point on. This will be a very fast program. We ask that everyone remain with us as we proceed throughout the program. We particularly ask those schools, coaches, and players who receive awards early to stay with us until all the divisions, all the schools, and all the players have received their awards. It won't be long, I really do promise you. We'll be done at an early hour, somewhere perhaps just a little after 9 or a little later. We will be presenting plaques here tonight to our All-Met first and second team selections. For our All-Met third team players, they will be receiving a unique certificate of achievement suitable for framing. These certificates will be sent in a few days to our area schools and sports information departments. The All-Met Honorable Mention also is a unique honor, considering, as I said, 70 colleges and universities with more than 2,000 athletes playing basketball in the greater metropolitan area. And now for the awards, would John Paquette of the Big East Conference and John Taliaferri from our committee, please join me here on the stage. When the Big East announced last month that John Paquette would be retiring at the end of this academic year, having known him a long, long time, I truly cannot believe that it had been 35 years since he first joined the conference. And overall, including his time at Seton Hall and the MAC conference, more than 40 years that John has been a part of collegiate athletics, and often right here in the metropolitan area. John, you have been a great friend in serving the media, but beyond, you have so positively influenced the lives of so many students, athletes, coaches, administrators, and fans throughout your career. We know that your time ahead will include much more family time. And although you won't be on staff anymore, I am sure that Commissioner Val Ackerman will let you have a few tickets to the Big East tournament at the Garden. You were the first and one of the very few honorees to receive both the Good Guy and our Distinguished Service Award. And tonight, we present you with our Career Achievement Award. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chuck. I spent my career in college athletics in the metropolitan area. And as Chuck said, it's 35 years for the Big East, some years at Seton Hall, a couple of other schools along the way. So I've been fortunate, and we're all part of a great game of college basketball. And you see great games, we're part of the experience, but for me, what I will remember and cherish the most are the relationships with all the people. A lot of people in this room, people like Chuck, and I've already said hello to about 20 people that's what's in it for me. That's what's been in it for me. So I thank you very much.
At this time, would Jeff Bernstein please join me here on the stage to make the Division II men's presentation. Jeff?
Well, to keep things moving along, as Chuck likes it to be, first thing I'm going to do is ask all of the Division II men's first and second team honorees to please come up here in front of the podium. Don't be shy. When I go through the list, after we announce each one of you, please go over to that area over there for photos. We're going to start with the Division II second team honorees. First up, 6'5" sophomore guard forward from Indianapolis, Indiana, here in ECC Defensive Player of the Year and all ECC second team honors. From St. Thomas Aquinas, Sean Arnold. A 6'4" sophomore guard from Durham, North Carolina. He was named to the Northeast 10 third team. From Pace University, Trey Boyd III. A 6'7" senior forward from Waterville, New York. He was named to the ECAC first team from the College of Staten Island, Messiah Mallory. And a 6'8" senior forward from Lindenwood, New Jersey. He was the CACC Defensive Player of the Year and All CACC 13 from Bloomfield College, Edward N. Gunay. Now, the All Met Division II First Team, a 5'10" graduate student from Freeport, New York. He led the Northeast 10 in steals and assists, averaging 16.2 points, 8.7 assists, and 2.9 steals per game. The Northeast 10 Player of the Year and First Team selection from Pace University, Trey Alexander. The 6'2" junior guard from Chesapeake, Virginia. He was named All CACC First Team and D2 CCA Second Team All Region. Led the conference with 23.8 points per game from Georgian Court University, Cam Edmonds. And a 6'3" graduate student from Bridgewater, New Jersey. He was a First Team All CACC selection and NABC Second Team All District. He led the Chargers with 16.8 points, 3.1 assists, and 3.0 rebounds per game from Dominican University, Jaden Hornets. At this time, we'd like to call up Dave Duke from Adelphi University to the stage. Dave Duke is the first head coach to earn Northeast 10 Conference Coach of the Year in Adelphi men's basketball history, as he guided the Panthers to one of the best seasons in his 11 years in there. Adelphi went 26-8 overall, 17-3 in the Northeast 10 last season, posting its highest victory total under Duke's watch and the most of the program since 2005-2006. The team produced a 12-game winning streak, fourth longest in program history, and was ranked as high as number 15 nationally by the NABC, which is Adelphi's highest ranking since being number 1 back in 2000-2001. The Panthers closed 24-25 by capturing their first regular season conference title since 2010-11, and as an at-large invitee, made their first NCAA tournament appearance since 2012. Duke is the 5th individual and represents the 9th time that Adelphi has produced a Metropolitan Basketball Writers Association Coach of the Year. 2025 Met Basketball Division II Men's Coach of the Year from Adelphi University, Dave Duke.
Good evening. As I was preparing my notes earlier, I realized this is the 22nd year of attendance. I have 2 takeaways. First, it's a tremendous honor to receive this award. The second, I'm well aware of how these speeches are received. Not necessarily by the quality of them, but the quantity of them, so I'm going to keep this thing moving along with a few short thank yous. Before I get into my thank yous that I had planned, I saw 2 very special people online when I walked in, and I would be remiss if I didn't give them a huge thank you. Coach Wright and his wife Patty are here, and they gave me my first job 27 years ago. So without you all, and without you both, this would never have happened. I love you. First and foremost, I have to thank our team. It was an incredibly great, just a great group of young men. Incredibly talented and hardworking. These guys were buying everything we were selling. First team meetings, and I'm just extremely appreciative to each and every one of them. Our administration, our president, Dr. Reardon, vice president, Florida McCarty, Emily Dorgo, Jessica Roki, Kristen Shine, Eugene Rothblatt, our SID, David Padalano, and our trainer, Owen Buchanan. I have to give a special thank you to our athletics director, David McCabe. This job became available. There were two main things that had me so interested in the job. First, after 16 years of being an assistant coach at Hofstra and Fordham, the opportunity to be a head coach was something that really had me very excited. The second was the chance to work for and with somebody that's not only excellent at their craft, but is a terrific person. Andy, thank you for all. Our assistant coaches, Nick Stanton, who's here with me tonight, Mike Laxton, Kevin Coyle, Andrew Delaney, and Taylor Carpenter. They're hardworking, committed, and passionate. In a job that's most often a thankless one, I want to give each and every one of them a huge thank you. This award is theirs, as much as it is mine, in fact, even more so. Finally, my family. My parents were the ultimate super fans. My two brothers were like having another set of assistant coaches. However, after losses, they don't seem to share their thoughts with me quite as delicately as our other assistant coaches do, but by now I've gotten used to that. My amazing wife, her kindness and patience keep me centered and upbeat all year long throughout all the ups and downs. Very blessed to have them by my side on this journey. And my two boys, I have a 6-year-old and a 5-year-old, who are my entire team. And they absolutely adore every single one of the guys on our team. Every morning, the day after a game that they were not able to attend, they ask me the same questions in the same sequence without fail. Did we win? How many blocks did Jarnell have? How many points did Deshaun have? How many threes did Dre and Matty P hit? And how many jellies did Al have? Folks, in a time where college basketball has significantly changed, to me, that right there is what this is still really all about. To my fellow award winners, give you a big congratulations, and I thank the MetLifers for honoring me with a very special award. Enjoy the rest of the night.
This time we ask head coach Matt Healing and Trey Alexander from Pace to please join us on stage. A 5'10" graduate guard from Freeport, New York, Alexander, who also became the first center to be named Northeast 10 Conference Player of the Year, led Pace in scoring, assists, steals, and shooting percentage, along with placing very high statistically throughout the conference and NCAA Division II. Among his many accolades of this past year, Alexander was named the third-team All-American by both NABC and D2CCA. He was the D2CCA East Region Player of the Year, Northeast 10 First Team, and All-Defensive Team, and in the classroom was named Academic All-American by the College Sports Communicators. This past season, he led Pace to an at-large berth in the NCAA tournament with 16.2 points, a single-season school record, 277 assists, and 92 steals, while shooting 45.1% from the floor and 85.4% from the free throw line. Alexander placed 8th in the conference in scoring and 1st in assists and steals. On a national level, he was 2nd in Division II in assists and steals per game. Coach Healing will now share.
Thank you very much. Congrats to all the award winners. I know you guys want to hear from the man of the hour, Trey Alexander, but just a minute or two on Trey. We recruited him really hard out of high school, and also mainly out of his AAU program, Crown. Coach Chris Gaspara, who Trey is very close with. And then again, recruited him really hard at prep school when he went to the Canterbury School in Connecticut with Coach Brian Badaday, who again Trey is very close with. So after a couple of years of recruiting him in the spring of 2020, to no surprise, he turned down our scholarship offer and went somewhere else. So it was a unique process for us. And he mainly turned us down because at that time we had Brandon Jacobs, who was a senior point guard for us, all conference. And as Trey related, he really didn't want to sit behind anybody. So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way for maybe a minute or two. But pretty quickly we loved Trey even more. Just his will, his determination, his willingness to put himself out there and want to leave a mark right away. And rest assured, a few years later, we got our guy. He was with us for the last 2 years of his career. And wow, did he leave his mark already? We knew we were getting a great player. We've got an unbelievable person. Hands down, the best leader, the best captain I've ever been around. So all the intangibles that you look for as a coach, Trey brings in spades. And all those accolades that you talked about, all of those are well-deserved, All-American, any 10 Player of the Year, broke the school record for assists, led the nation in assists, all-academic team, all-defensive team, so all well-deserved. I know he's embarrassed by that because he doesn't like individual awards, but from a team standpoint as well, he led our team to a 24-8 record, a berth in the NCAA tournament. He was the consummate leader for us. He wants to get into coaching as well, which I know he's going to do great with, and we love him. We're certainly going to miss him at pace. But just one or two more quick thoughts. Trey was actually selected to play in the Division II All-Star game as well. I was fortunate enough to be selected to coach in that game as well. So Trey and I went out to Evansville, Indiana for the Division II All-Star game. 20 of the nation's best Division II basketball players, and we're out there and everybody's trying to feel it out, maybe not overly vocal, but sure enough, that's not Trey. He kind of took over that whole scene out there, huddling people up, talking, being a leader at the highest of levels. So in a room full of alphas, Trey was the ultimate alpha. And, Trey, I know he prided himself throughout his career on winning a championship, and we got pretty close this year. We lost a heartbreaker in the championship game by 1 point at the buzzer to Southern New Hampshire. But everybody in this room should know, and I'm sure Trey knows this as well, and if he doesn't, better. This guy over here is the epitome of a champion. So again, we love him. We're going to miss him. Trey Alexander.
Before we bring Trey to the microphone, let's see a short video.
Alexander hits the rock. 3 seconds left. Alexander spins. Steps back. He takes it from the game. He got it! Trey Alexander continues his career. Continues to season for the Steppers. All right now. Either way, that's good. But Brown. Wheeling up his good. Alexander backing down full. Faces on the heel ahead. The friendly roll.
First and foremost, I would like to thank my family. Nothing would be possible without them. The man I am, the person I am, the player I am, for them. And then secondly, I want to thank the Writers Association for giving this prestigious honor. There's a lot of great players out there, and to be able to be named this prestigious honor is a blessing for this guys. And lastly, I would like to thank the Pace University School and my coaching staff for, once again, like Coach Heaton said, giving me an opportunity to show who I am, and also the opportunity to find the game I love within itself, and finding a place that I can finally call home for my last
Congratulations again to all the D2 honorees, and now back to Chuck for the next report.
I'd like to ask Athletic Director Sheila Wooten and Coach Gerald Holmes from Bloomfield, please join us on the stage.
Good evening. I am Sheila Wooten, Athletic Director at Bloomfield College of Montclair State University. 25 years ago, we transitioned from NAIA to NCAA Division II with other proud members of our conference, the CACC. In our program, we needed to hire a full-time coach. All of our coaches were part-time. And the most important coach at that time, the first hire was men's basketball. Our first coach we hired left after the first 2 years, and Gerald was our assistant coach. So it made sense to hire him because Gerald was the obvious choice. He seemed quiet, humble, smart, well-spoken, quiet, loved recruiting, true competitor. And did I say quiet? Well, guess what? I quickly learned after my first impression, he was not quiet. I would never get any work done during his practice times. All I heard were screams of jump stop, at least 20 times a practice. Till, at the end of the day, when I left to go home, I felt like I was jump stopping. We talked about basketball all the time, which is my love as well. He was the perfect fit for Bloomfield. We had a great staff with a great family environment. More importantly, Gerald became family to me. He and his staff put our program on the map. Here are just a few accomplishments. He's been my longest tenured coach on staff, 23 years. He's had 8 CACC conference championships, 12 regular season first place finishes, 9 NCAA tournament appearances. He had a great run in 2011 when our team, who was ranked 7th, knocked off the top 3 seeds for the regional title, and it was our first Elite 8. He was honored Coach of the Year 6 times. He produced Players of the Year in the CACC 6 times. All those accomplishments are great, but what I've most been proud of are the young men, who were true student athletes and now tremendous citizens that have come through our program over the last 23 years. Gerald may be loud on the court, but understood the assignment in preparing young men for the real world off. So it's my honor to present the Met Writers Association Distinguished Service Award to Gerald.
Good evening. That's my sister, y'all. When I received an email from Chuck several weeks ago, informing me that I had been selected for this award, I literally said, wow, so in my office like this. I'm truly humbled and honored to be here. This is not something that I could have ever had envisioned for myself. So, excuse me, I want to give a huge thank you to Chuck and the executive committee members who felt that I was worthy of this. I've been in love with the game of basketball probably since I was about 5 years old. And about 6 years after I got out of college, I decided to follow my father's advice. My father had said to me on more than one occasion when I was younger, do something you love, try to be the best at it, and always get better. So I decided to start coaching basketball because that's what I love. Try to be the best at it is a gift. I can't imagine any other way to go about it. And giving back is something I try to do as much as I can. kind of look at it in two different forms. On one hand, there's the daily or weekly give back that I would think most, if not all, coaches do, and that is we try to teach life skills to our players as we're teaching the game. Different things like teamwork, sacrifice, conflict resolution, how you respond to adversity, and so forth. And we try to relate those things to something they may go through later in life, something they may be going through currently off the court that we may not be aware of. So we try to teach life skills at all times and help them develop as young men. And then there's, the more specific individual types of give back, which could be writing a letter of recommendation, making a connection, introduction, financial donation of time, community service, so on and so forth. So this is how I've been living my life for the past 32 years. I hope to be able to continue to do so for another 10 or so, give or take. As long as I continue to have the passion and the energy, someone willing to give me a job, I'm going to do this for as long as I possibly can. So again, big thank you to Chuck and the committee members, and congratulations to all the important achievements.
Jeff Bernstein, come on back.
Division II women's first and second team members, please step up. And as I call your names, please go over there to the backdrop photos. Let's get started. So first up is a 6'1" freshman center from Australia, CACC Rookie of the Year, CACC second team selection from Felician University, Stephanie Formby. A 5'9" junior guard from Naugatuck, Connecticut, a CACC second team pick from Dominican University, Kayla Howard. A 6'0" junior center forward from St. Michael, Barbados, from Pace University, Tower Lord. A 5'2" senior guard from Essex, Massachusetts, a Northeast 10 second team pick from Adelphi University, Caitlin O'Connor. A 5'9" senior forward from Portland Manor, New York, a Northeast 10 third team pick from Pace University, Ariana Stockinger. A 5'9" senior guard from Newark, New Jersey, a CACC third team selection from Bloomfield College, Tanisha Tucker. And rounding out the second team, a 5'11" sophomore forward from Vitoria, Gasteiz, Spain, and a third team All-CACC honoree from Felician University, Ann Val. And now here are our first team honorees. A 5'9" senior forward from Troy, New York. She earned ECC Player of the Year and First Team honors, leading the Dolphins with 14.5 points per game. From the College of Staten Island, Genelise Alcott. 6-foot junior forward from Gloucester City, New Jersey, an all-ECC first-team selection. She averaged 13.5 points and 6.6 rebounds per game for the Mavericks. From Mercy University, Angelina Barrera. The 6'0 junior forward from Kilkenny, Ireland. She averaged 16.7 points and 7.3 rebounds per game and received first-team All-CACC honors. From Caldwell University, Lucy. A 5'9 junior guard forward from Troy, New York. She led the ECC with 17.3 points and 10.0 rebounds per game, earning first-team All-ECC honors. From St. Thomas Aquinas College, Sarita Farah. A 5'3 sophomore guard from Jersey City, New Jersey. She was a first-team All-CACC selection, leading the conference with 18.2 points per game and earning second-team D2 CCA All-Region honors. From Caldwell University, Chanel Lewis. Still standing alone up here. Our final first-team selection, 5'8 sophomore guard from New City, New York. She led the CACC with 5.7 assists per game and was second with 17.6 points per game. Named first-team All-CACC from Dominican University, Tanasha Mills. At this time, we'd like to call up Nicole Sarcone from the College of Staten Island. In her 7th season as head coach of the Dolphins, Sarcone, who was raised on Staten Island, guided CSI to an 11-win improvement over 2023-24. Her team's 20-8 regular season mark was the best during her tenure, as CSI finished second during the ECC regular season and defeated Mercy in the conference semifinals before losing a close championship game at #1 seeded Damon in upstate New York. The 2025 Met Basketball Division II Women's Coach of the Year from the College of Staten Island, Nicole Sarcone.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank the Met Writers Basketball Association for this honor and extend my congratulations to everybody in this room, student athletes, coaches, and administrators who are being honored tonight. About 6 years ago, and just under a year, my first season in CSI, we were told that we were going to Division II, and at that time, I never thought I would be standing here tonight. I am extremely grateful for this opportunity. It's been a challenging but very rewarding honor to lead this women's basketball program into a new era at the College of Staten Island. I feel a strong sense of pride leading this program, being born and raised in Staten Island, and I'm happy to show everybody just how important Staten Island basketball can be. I have learned so much and grown as an individual and a coach by standing among some of the best coaches in our conference and in this region. So thank you to all the coaches, athletes, and administrators who have made this region so competitive and one of the best regions to be a part of. I wouldn't be standing up here today without the support of so many people. Thank you to my family and the CSI administration and staff members for your support. Ronnie support. To the best coaching staff in the world, I appreciate every single thing you've done, and none of this would be possible without you. Your hard work, your dedication, and your commitment. And most importantly, I'm very, very thankful for the unbelievable group of student athletes who led us through a very, very fun season this year. Congratulations again to everybody here tonight.
Thank you, Coach. We now ask that Jenelise Alarcon join her coach up on stage. We read a little bit about her and then we'll see a video. 5'9" senior forward from Troy, New York, Alarcon was named the East Coast Conference Player of the Year, as well as All-ECC First Team D2 CCA First Team All-Region. She led the Dolphins in scoring, rebounding, shooting percentage, and from the floor and the free throw line. She averaged a career high 14.5 points, 7.4 rebounds, while shooting 49.2% from the field, third in the ECC, and 75.6 at the foul line, while topping the conference with 71 steals. Alarcon started all 30 games for the Dolphins, scored in double figures 22 times, and had 3 double-doubles. She posted 23 points and 7 rebounds in CSI's ECAC tournament semifinal victory over Mercer, which propelled CSI into the conference championship for the first time ever. For her 4 years, Alarcon played in 113 games, scored 1,390 points, collected 906 rebounds, 225 assists, 93 blocks, 168 steals. Very worthy recipient, I should say. Let's take a look at the video.
Great. Splash. As Alarcon has the layup. Outside crash. Proven double and contribution to conference. Alarcon. Bank City rushes the Dolphins. As Alarcon will try a 3. Comes Alarcon. The first layup is good. Have another steal. Here comes Alarcon. And she banks it in up.
Congratulations again to all of our award winners in Division 2. I now present Chuck Stogel.
At this time, would Jay Wright and Val Ackerman please come up to the stage? To begin, you may recognize Jay Wright from his television work on college basketball. You can see the makeup and everything they use. But once upon a time, Jay Wright was a basketball coach, and a very good one. A former head coach at Hofstra, Jay Wright guided Villanova to 6 Big East championships and 16 NCAA tournaments in just 21 seasons, including winning the NCAA National Championship in both 2016 and 2018. And now here to introduce Val Ackerman is Jay Wright.
Thank you, Chuck. I was so excited to come come back here to be able to introduce Val. And as I get back here and see this dinner, remind me of my Hofstra days, and see Dave Doom win the Coach of the Year award, too, I'm so proud. Steve Gorchov, the Good Guy Award, John McKett being honored, brings me back to all my days in New York. I wanted to come back from Val, my wife wanted to come back from Val. This has just been an incredible night to see you again, Chuck. For all of you here tonight, all the winners, congratulations, but understand you all are in New York. You're in the heart of basketball in our country. It's normal to you, but when I get outside of here, everybody respects New York basketball at a level above everywhere else in the country. When you win an award, the Metropolitan Sports Writers Award, you win a Haggerty Award, that is the elite of basketball in our country because it's in New York. So take pride in that, please, and understand that everybody in our country respects New York basketball at a level like no other. So congratulations to all of you, and to throw you back. And it's an honor to be able to introduce this year's Distinguished Service Award honoree, because Val Ackerman has had every award and has had every position in basketball. Val's in the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, Val's in the Naismith Hall of Fame, Val's been the president of USA Basketball, she's the founding president of the WNBA, she's done everything in basketball, men's basketball, women's basketball, international basketball. Most important to us as coaches here and players to understand this, in 2013, when the Catholic schools from the Big East separated, the 7 schools separated to create their own conference, there was a lot of indecision, a lot of fear. And Val took over as the leader of the Big East. And with courage, intelligence, creativity, led us to a point where the Big East right now, in this new era of NIL and the transfer portal, is in a perfect position to excel in college basketball. You see the great coaches like Rick Pitino, Kevin Willard, Shaka Smart, all these coaches in the Big East are because Val convinced all of the presidents of the Big East, this is how you got to build it with the coaches in the Big East. So it is my honor to introduce someone that has given her service to the game of basketball, the women's side, the men's side, the international side. And I did forget to mention, just saw Speedy Claxton, and Coach of the Hofstra, is Haggerty Award winner, Player of the Year. And I always want to remember that because that made our program at Hofstra. Good to see you, Steve, man. But to all of you, Val is someone that everyone here should look up to and be grateful for where our name is today. The way Patty and I are here today because she's been a great friend to us, but she's built the Big East. And finally, when all these conferences, the Big Ten, the ACC, tried to come in and steal Madison Square Garden, Val made the deal with Madison Square Garden to keep the Big East there. It's all on Val. This year's Distinguished Service Award winner, Val Ackerman.
Well, thanks so much, Jay. I'm so grateful for those kind words, and I'm even more grateful that you and Patty made the trek up from Philly to be here tonight. I have so much admiration for the two of you, and I'm so glad that our journeys intertwined over the last 12 years or so. As Jay said, when the old Big East literally disintegrated, and then came back together in 2013 in its current form, there were a lot of questions about whether this proud group of basketball schools could survive in the football world. But thanks to Jay and Villanova's 2 national titles that came in short order, only 2 years after the Big East came back together, the answer was a resounding yes. The Big East could not only survive, but it could thrive. So here we are today with 8 Final Fours in the last 9 years for men and women combined, with 5 national titles to show for it. Villanova 2, UConn men 2, and as of a week ago, UConn women another their 12th national title. It's really been an incredible run. And Jay, big thanks you for getting it going in 2016 and leading us back to the promised land. So thank you. Chuck, I want to thank you very much and the Metropolitan Basketball Writers for this incredible honor. Time permits me from praising the writers, all the writers in the room tonight, many of whom I know, but I would like to give a special shout out to my longtime colleague, Doug Feinberg, who I was so happy to join a few weeks ago in Tampa him for his induction into the U.S. Basketball Writers Association Hall of Fame. I also want to commend my colleague, John Paquette. I've had the honor of working with John for the last 12 years. He's given 35 years of dedicated service to the Big East, and as has been noted, he will retire this June as one of the most respected communications administrators in college sports. So John, job well done. You're going to be greatly missed by all of us. It's really wonderful to see St. John's. Hi guys, my red storm table here in the spotlight tonight with the awards to Coach Pitino, the Big East Player of the Year, now Haggerty Award winner, R.J. Lewis Jr. Congratulations to you. Helped bring us one of the most exciting campaigns in St. John's history this season. I also want to give a shout out to Seton Hall's Fate Smithsonians for being named All-Met D1 Player of the Year on the women's side, and the many other Pirates and Red Storm players who are being honored here tonight. Congratulations to all of you who do us proud. I have dealt with many basketball writers in my career, and I just wanted to say how much respect I have for the attributes that are shared by so many of you in the profession. Your subject matter mastery, your turns of phrase in your articles, in your columns, your inquisitiveness, your doggedness and your stamina, your ability to meet deadlines, your bracket predictions, which of course we all follow closely, and the love for the game that you all bring to the job. Basketball has produced so many stories in the days of Dr. Naismith, but the stories could never have been told without all of you, and the ones who came before you and the ones who are going to come after you. So you inform, you educate, you make people care. All of you have been as big a part of the basketball journey as anybody. For that, our undying thanks. I've been very fortunate to have worked with you for a lot of sports industry giants, among them David Stern, Russ Brown, and Barry Bettman. Had the chance to work with all of them. They all taught me the ins and outs of working in the league office and how to manage teams in a way that the teams would consider fair. I also had the honor of working early on in my career with Dave Gavitt, who founded the Big East Conference. More than anybody, David impressed upon me the importance of being a responsible part of the story. Finally, I just want to say how proud I am to have been in front row to witness the incredible growth of women's basketball, which has progressed light years in my school days, from my playing days in high school when I was a student athlete at the University of Virginia in the early years of Title IX. Look where it is today. I remember sitting at David Stern's side in the mid-90s at the annual playoff preview lunches with the NBA writer corps. And we'll always be grateful for him for opening his remarks back then with his enthusiastic updates on plans for the WNBA. I'm sure he's smiling down today when the league has become. And I just want to close by congratulating all of the award winners tonight, especially the student athletes. It's a big deal that you're here tonight. The fact that you're being honored speaks volumes about not only the kind of basketball player you are, but the kind of person you are. And I have all the confidence in the world that all of you are going to go on and do great things with your lives. And this will be, my experience as any indication, one of the most happy memories that you're going to have. So congratulations to all the award winners tonight. And Chuck, thanks again to you and the association.
Would Bobby Haggerty, please come up to the stage. We have presentations for the Division III Women's Award.
Thank you, Chuck. I'd like to call up the Division III All-Met Women and ask that all the student athletes come to the front of the stage. And of course, in order to keep it moving faster, we'll be taking all of our pictures over to my right, as we've been doing so far tonight. We'll start with the All-Met Women's Division III second team honorees. While they're coming up, we just want to extend our congratulations to those who could not join us tonight. From Vassar, Tober Gill and Sierra McDermott. From NYU, Belle Delecchia. From Montclair State, Alyssa Cregwell. From Yeshiva, Daniela Bessler. And lastly, we'd like to salute Kings Point's Emily Glassler, who is serving her semester at St. Hopefully watching tonight on the stream with her fellow Merchant Marines, most recently near Japan. Hi, Emily, you're watching. First up, a WBCA honorable mention All-American with 13 rebounds a game. A 6'1" first-year forward from Waldorf, Maryland, from US MMA, Caroline Barton. A 5'5" junior guard from Old Bridge, New Jersey, who led Stevens to the MAC Freedom Championship. It's Layla Castro. 5'7" graduate student from Brooklyn who was fifth in the NCAA Division III scoring at 24.8 points per game. From Lehman, Evan Figueroa. A 6-foot junior guard from southeastern Massachusetts, also a WBCA honorable mention All-American from NYU, Caroline Pepper. Now for the All-Met Women's Division III first team selections. First, alphabetically, a 6'1" graduate student from St. Louis. She was last year's MBWA Women's Division III Player of the Year from NYU, Natalie Bruns. Two-time first-team All-Met selection, the NCAA's leading scorer and fourth in assists, the CUNY Co-Player of the Year, a 5'8" senior guard from nearby Pleasant Valley, Baruch Mia Castillo. 5'8" junior guard from right here in Tarrytown. She finished right behind Castillo as the second leading scorer in Division III. Also a two-time All-Met selection, the CUNY Co-Player of the Year from Hunter, Alexa Charles. At this time, I'd like to call up Meg Barber from NYU. In her seventh season at the helm, NYU alone, Meg Barber was also named the WBCA Division III National Coach of the Year in 2022, and this season as well, led the Violets 31-0, 14-0 in the UAA to their fourth straight University Athletic Association title, as the program claimed its third NCAA National Championship. Violets' back-to-back national crowns are the fourth time that this feat has been achieved since the NCAA inaugurated the women's tournament in 1982. NYU defeated Smith for both of its recent titles, winning 51-41 in 2024 and cruising to the crown 77-49 this time around. So it's all in the program, of course, but if you're not caught up, we'd like you to watch this short video. Women's Coach of the Year from back-to-back Division III National Champions, NYU's Meg Barber.
Thank you for indulging me again to watch that video. It has not gotten old yet. My mom is watching on the live stream, so I just want to tell her, please do not text me because I'm using my phone for the first time to say a few notes. But just a thank you to the Met writers, Jeff, Chuck, Craig, all the staff for hosting this amazing dinner. It doesn't get old to be able to come out here and see friends, see colleagues, opponents we compete against all year. What a great gathering of everyone, and a special congratulations to the student athletes. So proud of all of your accomplishments at every level and what you guys are up to next. We can't wait to be a part of it. I personally have a connection to Met basketball history because when I was recruited to NYU, my dad said absolutely not. And then Barry Kramer called my house and he told my dad, listen, it was the best decision I ever made. So because of Barry Kramer, I was an NYU graduate and I'm lucky enough to be able to come back and coach the program today. We've had an incredible season. I just want to thank our staff, Annie, who is attending another function, Sarah, and obviously our administration, Miles, who's here tonight, our men's staff as well, who had an incredible year, and side by side as we were both trying to get a national championship together was unbelievable. And then obviously, and most importantly, our players, Natalie and Caroline, who are here tonight. Our senior class had a 112-5 record over their 4-year career. So on our way up here, Bruns was saying to me, I bet the freshmen and sophomores have no idea what you're like after a loss. And I was like, I'd really like to keep it that way. But it's the legacy that you guys have left just as people and the way, the joy you brought to my life as a coach. I think sometimes in the grind, we can lose sight of that, and it's just been an absolute joy to coach you guys. And I'm just honored to be part, as Val said earlier, the narrative of New York City basketball this year. What a storyline. It was fun to just be a part of watching all of your stories, feeling the momentum of it, feeling the passion of basketball back in New York City. So I'm just really fortunate. I just want to thank all of you tonight. Thank you to the Met writers.
And now on to the Player of the Year. We have another video. What can't you do? I said that just last year, so I'm going to list a few of the accolades instead of what's just in the program. Two-time Met Player of the Year, two-time NCAA champion, two-time UAA Player of the Year, two-time National Player of the Year, NCAA Elite 90 Award winner, CSC Academic All-America, finalist for the Division III Athlete of the Year. And of course, now for even more, welcome back, Coach Meg Barber.
There really aren't enough words to say about Natalie. Obviously, you know, two-time, her basketball accolades just speak for themselves. She leaves NYU as the most decorated student athlete, not just athlete, but as he mentioned, the Elite 90, which goes to the top GPA at the Final Four amongst any team and any player, manager. And Natalie not only was National Player of the Year, but also had the highest undergraduate GPA, 3.96 in NYU's engineering school.
He currently has a 4.0 in NYU's cybersecurity master's program. So if anyone is in that field, I would just highly recommend trying to grab her number after this is over. But outside of the awards, she is truly elite in all ways. She has made the absolute most of an opportunity that a lot of people kind of nudged her to maybe move on from last year after we, went undefeated and won a national championship. People said kind of what's next. And I am forever indebted that Natalie's last chapter stayed at home with NYU, and she just doubled down and was like, let's run it back. And we went 31-0 again and won a national championship again. So I don't have this, I don't have any of the accolades as a coach without her. I am by far the luckiest coach in this room. And lastly, just the players, so we have other players here. She has helped also recruit with her honesty, leading with how hard it is to be a student athlete at NYU. It's not easy, it's not the most glamorous, but she's been honest about the challenges and opportunities that NYU presents, and she has both recruited and mentored a majority of the players that are in our program to date. So I'm forever indebted to you. I love you. I can't imagine practice or games without you, and just thank you.
I first want to congratulate everyone here tonight. As college athletes, you dedicate your entire life to reap the benefits that this sport has to offer. And I'm thrilled to be standing in front of elite players and coaches for being recognized for that effort tonight. Last year when I gave this speech, I spoke a lot about my teammates and my coaches, which I will get to in a second. But I first want to touch on something that brings us uniquely together in this room, and that's playing basketball in New York City and the area surrounding it. I mentioned just a moment ago that when you pour your young adult life into a sport like basketball, it has a lot to give back. And that includes areas beyond the court. But I think as student athletes, I think this is especially true for us in New York. What is often considered the mecca of basketball, this city is competitive. It forces you to develop a grit, but simultaneously accepts everyone's journey, past and present, and celebrates success hand in hand with everyone who rises into the future. My first introduction to New York basketball came when I was a freshman in college, and my season had been completely canceled due to COVID. Since all of the NYU gyms were closed, I often found myself in courts in Brooklyn. For those of you from this area, the culture of pickup basketball here is not surprising, but I immediately became excited when I found out there were games happening every single day and that they welcomed anybody willing to play. Like I said, New York is competitive, so you're always responsible for proving yourself to stay on the court. But being a female athlete in this type of culture, one that accepted and welcomed me, was certainly not always the case in my hometown. Moving here from the Midwest during COVID-19 was undoubtedly challenging, but I was able to find peace and beauty in a wildly unfamiliar place to the incredibly familiar medium of basketball. Fast forward a year, when college seasons are starting up again, and I officially became a student athlete, which brought its own unique challenges. I was subwaying between Manhattan and Brooklyn for class and practice on the daily, and balancing the engineering workload with basketball commitments for the first time. Again, uncharted territory, but I learned a lot. I grew, and again, I have the city today. This time, specifically for people in New York City. To all my teammates throughout my career, younger, older, Caroline Pepper, who I'm going with tonight, they've all motivated, challenged, and inspired me to be the best version of myself, both on and off the court. To my coaches, who recruited me here and convinced me to buy into this experience, and saw the potential for the person I could become at the end of this chapter of my life. You all are the reason I stand here today, and your support is a big reason my family, not knowing much about New York at the time, shipped me off to the city at the age of 18. This city attracts great people, and I return back to the theme that this people and this place are things that will challenge us, accept us, and selflessly celebrate us when it becomes time to do so. I'm eternally grateful for the support of my family, my coaches, my teammates, and the coaching basketball here. It's an honor to be recognized for my hard work and the support, and I'm even more honored to stand up here and represent all the factors I just discussed, which shaped me into what I am today. The reflection of what being a student athlete here can be and buy into it. And like myself, I believe everyone here has. Thank you again, and congratulations, everyone.
Thanks, everyone, and back to Chuck.
At this time, I'd like to ask Andrew O'Connell from our Jim O'Connell Scholarship Committee to come up to the stage for the presentation of the OT Award.
Let me start by thanking the MBWA Executive Committee for their continued work in helping keep my dad's memory alive with this scholarship. My dad loved this dinner and this organization because of the people involved and what the Met Basketball Writers Association stands for. Having spent 40 years in the business with the resources of the Associated Press behind him, my dad saw the game on every corner of the globe in some of its most storied venues. But there was nowhere he'd rather be than right here in New York. He's the only writer I know who would cover Duke Carolina on Wednesday and then come home on Thursday and go to a game at St. Francis on his night off. He did it not because he loved the game, but because he loved the people that make our game so special. There are a lot of folks in this room who can attest to the fact that my dad loved helping people. For a guy who liked to play the role of curmudgeon, he had an awfully big soft spot. Over the course of his career, he helped dozens, probably hundreds of people advance their careers in the industry. He was the first to make a call on your behalf, and his friends often became your friends. That's what we try to keep alive with this award. The young professionals he took under his wing usually fell into one of two categories. You were either A, really good, or B, really fun to hang out with. Our winner this year appears to fit both categories pretty well. Joe Henry's resume is pretty remarkable. He has a 4.0 GPA at Fordham while majoring in economics with a minor in sports journalism. My dad liked to joke that he too had a 4.0 at St. John's if you added up both semesters together. Joe is the sports editor of the student newspaper, and next year he'll be the sports manager of WFUV, the university's prestigious student radio station that has produced the likes of Vince Scully, Mike Green, Michael Kay, Chris Carino, Spiro Diaz, and Tony Reale. Joe can't be here tonight because he's currently wrapping up a semester abroad in London, but that hasn't stopped him from working. The other day, when news of Fordham's NCAA sanctions broke, he provided the first comprehensive report on the subject from the other side of the Atlantic, which helped the story pick up steam here at home. Joe is definitely one of those kids my dad would have wanted to help out, but if we're being honest, I'm not sure he needed. On behalf of the entire O'Connell family, thank you to the Met Basketball Writers Association, and congrats to Joe on this well-deserved award. Chuck, I believe you have a video.
Hi everyone, thank you for coming out tonight to celebrate the support that we all love, to celebrate the amazing athletes we have in the metro area, and celebrate everyone who plays a role in making scholarship so great. And also to celebrate those who are not here whose legacy is good. It's hard to put into words how honored I am to be named the winner of the 2025 OT Award. As you all know, OT was the beacon everyone in my industry looked to when it came to college basketball. He was a tremendous journalist, a reporter, yes, he was a UConn Hall of Famer, but above that, he was a friend, father, husband, more broadly, pillar of his community. Community that, by the day, feels more and more like home. For me, reading Ock's story and hearing my colleagues talk about it, always with a smile, reminds me what it's about to work in this industry. Service. Service to the athletes and coaches who we strive to cover, not for a scoop or a paycheck, but because of a genuine love for what they do. Service to a game that has given us all so much. Service to our coworkers who make us feel lucky and bring us points. And service to our audience who deserve our best work. As I keep writing, reporting, and broadcasting, I have no doubt that Ock's spirit of unwavering kindness and passion will help guide me. I want to do big things in this industry in service of others. And I want to do it the right way. Ock shows us all how to do both. I want to thank Ock and the entire O'Connell family, and folks at the MBWA for this honor and scholarship, my mom, my dad, Bobby, Lou, Will, WFUV Sports, and Duran, and everyone here for helping to foster such a beautiful community. Thank you.
Bobby Cipriani, you're up. presentation of Division III men's awards.
And just like we did with the women, I'd like to bring up the Division III All-Men men in front of the stage, please.
Congratulations.
So with the All-Men men's Division III second team honorees coming up, we just wanted to extend again our congratulations to those that cannot join us tonight. From Vassar, we've got Shay Fitzgerald from NYU, Zay Freeney from Montclair State, Mike Jackson and Jacob Morales, and from Yeshiva, Zevi Salmon. From the Landmark champion Drew Rangers, a 6'2" senior guard from Little Egg Harbor, Josh Klein. 6'5" senior swingman who hails all the way from Rio Rancho, New Mexico, from St. Elizabeth, Tyrell Monroe. 6'7" senior forward from the Bronx, playing for his hometown team, Lehman, Kai Paris. 3-time All-Men honoree, a 6'9" senior center from Westfield, New Jersey, from Stevens, Jack Spellman. 6'1" junior guard from Manhattan, from the 2025 CUNY champions, John J. Jameer Stewart. Now the All-Men men's Division III first team selections. The NJAC Player of the Year, a 6' senior guard from Sayreville, New Jersey, from Ramapo, Peter Gorman. He led the NYU Violets to the NCAA Division III National Championship game. The UAA Player of the Year, a 6'7" graduate student from Virginia Beach. Also an NABC All-American, Tristan Howe. The Player of the Year led the Bruin Bearcats to the league title game, a 5'11" senior guard from Staten Island, it's Gerard Nicholson. At this time, I'd like to call up NYU assistant coach, Chris Thompson. David Klansky has guided the Violets to an NCAA tournament berth in each of his 3 seasons at the helm, compiling an insane 68-16 record, and this year took NYU 29-2 overall, 13-1 in UAA, through the playoffs and into the national championship game where they fell 64-60 to Trinity. He's the second recipient from NYU to be named the All-Men Coach of the Year. Among the NYU highlights this season, 29 wins is the most overall in team history. The Violets captured their second consecutive UAA title and the first outright as regular season champs with a program record 13 league victories. Klansky and his assistants were named UAA Coaching Staff of the Year. Individually, he was selected the NABC District 4 Coach of the Year and the 2025 Red Auerbach National Coach of the Year by the Jewish Coaches Association. Since the season ended, Klansky has moved on to an assistant coaching position at another successful program, the national champion Florida Gators, to be part of Todd Golden staff. So here's a short thank you video from our Metropolitan Basketball Writers Association Division III Men's Coach of the Year for NYU, David Klansky.
Hello, fellow Metropolitan Basketball Writers, coaches, staffs. Sorry I could not be there with you all to celebrate tonight. Florida. But I'd like to start off by thanking the Metropolitan Basketball Writers Association for selecting me for this honor. But the reality is, I'm not doing this video or standing up there metaphorically without my sleep. And they are there with me next to me, and I'd like to mention them. Chris Thompson, and I think they're there. We don't have to listen to them more, so this year was a special year for everyone. It's the most enjoyable experience I've had coaching. It was a group that we put together, and we didn't really know what to expect. We lost our player of the year, national player of the year, 3 days in a row, playing like the blue guy and Queen Park. And we brought in 7 new players, 6 grad transfers and 1 freshman. And those practice seasons, September, October, were not ready. But I give the players a lot of credit because all year we preach sacrifice and coming together as a team. And watching them grow together is really a testament to them because they have sacrificed a lot individually to achieve what we did this year. And it was just a lot of fun. And we did a lot of good things on the court, but then a lot of good things off the court as well. So being able to reach the national championship game in a season where no one has anyway, no one expects us to be on the floor, no one expects us to be in championship. So I'm just so proud of what this group was able to accomplish, what they did for each other, for the season, for the school, to put together one of the best years in NYU history is something that I will never forget and I'm really happy to be part of. So, well, my time at NYU is now over. I had a great 3 years. This year was unbelievable. And NYU will continue to grow for what we've done. And I'm excited for their future. But again, I just, the Metropolitan Basketball Association is special to me. Being back in Jersey, I've always been a Metro guy. I've always been a Tri-State guy. Even if I'm working somewhere else. My friendships in that room, so I appreciate you guys all being here. And again, thank you to the Met Basketball Players Association, and I'll see you guys all around. That's the end.
Here to present the award on his behalf, NYU Assistant Coach Chris Johnson. Now we'll move on to the Player of the Year honor with Ramapo head coach Chuck McGreen. Please join us on the stage. Peter Gorman was an all-man first-team selection in 23-24. This year was selected as the New Jersey Athletic Conference Player of the Year, as well as being named to the NABC All-America Second Team and D3Hoops.com All-America Third Team. Led the Roadrunners 21-8, 13-5 in the end Jack in scoring for the 3rd straight season. His 617 points this year, 22 per game, were the 2nd best in a single season for the program and ranked number 2 in the conference and number 14 nationally in all of Division III. Gorman also averaged 4.5 rebounds and 3.3 assists per game. He produced 4 games this season with 30-plus, including a career-high 39 points in February against Stockton, and led the team with 68 3-point field goals. With Ramapo receiving an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament, Gorman recorded 25 points and 8 assists in a first-round win over Claremont Mudscripts and 25 points with 9 rebounds in a close second-round loss to Mary Washington. Gorman scored 1,696 career points in 102 games played at Ramapo, 3rd on the school's all-time scoring list. In addition to his many honors, Gorman was named to the NABC All-District 4 First Team and picked to play in the NABC Division III All-Star Game at the site of the Final Four. Now for a more personal account, here's Coach McGreen.
First, I want to thank Chuck and the Met Riders for recognizing Pete Norman and all his amazing accomplishments this year. I want to congratulate all the student athletes, coaches, and everybody that received the award tonight. It's such a great honor. It's great to be here and to see Gerald Holmes receive the award that don't deserve. In regards to Pete Norman, I've been coaching at Ramapo for 27 years, and not too often does a player like Pete Norman come along. I've been truly blessed. It's been an honor to coach Pete. He's not just a great basketball player, he's a great person. Not in the program is the fact that he received second team academic All-American. He's got a 4.0 in his master's. He's getting his MBA in accounting. He's a high character kid, great attitude, fierce competitor. He's going to be successful at whatever he decides to do. I'm just so proud and happy for him. I'd like to call up the Met Riders D3 Player of the Year, Pete Bowman.
Good evening, everyone. First off, I want to say what an incredible honor it is to receive the Met Riders Division 3 Player of the Year award. To be recognized like this is something I never could have imagined when I first stepped onto the campus of Railroad College. There are a lot of people who played a role in this journey, and I want to take a moment to thank them. To my head coach, Chuck Green, thank you. You saw something in me from the very beginning. Before my first game, you told me I'd be an All-American by the time I graduated. That belief lit a fire, and it never went out. Over these 4 years, you've taught me so much more than just basketball. You showed me the importance of leadership, of setting a standard for others to follow, and building a culture that goes beyond the wings and bosses. You constantly emphasize the value of preparation, how being ready mentally and physically is what separates good from great. Those lessons won't just stay with me on the court, they're going to carry over into every part of my life moving forward. More than anything, I truly value our relationship. You believed in me, challenged me, and helped me grow not only as a player, but as a person. Looking back, I'm incredibly grateful that I chose Railroad as my home, and I wouldn't have won it. To my teammates, those of you watching on the live stream, thank you for being my brothers. Although you might not be in attendance with me tonight, I carry each of you with me. We went to battle together day in and day out, and I wouldn't trade those memories or that bond for anything. Individual awards are always a reflection of the team, and I'm up here because of all of you. To my family and friends, your support has meant the world to me. Every win felt even sweeter with you by my side, and every loss felt just a little less heavy knowing you had my back. You've been there for my highs and the lows, and your love and encouragement kept me grounded and motivated through it all. And lastly, to everyone who supports Division III basketball and gives student athletes a platform to chase their dreams, thank you. This game has taught me so much about hard work, leadership, and resilience. I'm proud to have worn the Railroad jersey representing a school and program that means so much to me. Thank you again for this incredible honor. I'll carry this moment with me forever.
Thanks again, and also wanted to give a shout out to Greg Cohen and special thanks to Chuck.
Thank you, Bobby. Well, we're in the home stretch now. We have one special award, and then we'll wrap up with the Division I Women and Men. And that'll be it for another great evening. Would Stephen Gortroy from Hofstra please come on up to the stage? I just want to remind everybody, and we mentioned this earlier, we know that there's about a half a dozen plaques that have the years wrong. It should say 2024-25, and there was some problem at the trophy store. So, once again, if you got one of those plaques, as soon as the dinner's over, please bring it up. This is the Mike Cohen Good Guy Award. Our good friend Mike Cohen attended Menike's Haggerty Award dinner. He worked for Manhattan College, Fordham University, Yonkers Raceway, and NBC Sports. He passed away suddenly in 1988 at the age of 44. Anyone involved in college basketball is eligible for the Mike Cohen Good Guy Award. From coaches to players to administrators, sports information directors, and even the media. First, let me show you the trophy that Stephen will receive. We call it the Big Gavel. It's one of the most unique trophies in all of sports, and hopefully I won't drop it. And now for the award. Although he doesn't look old enough, Stephen has been a part of Hofstra's Office of Athletic Communications for 25 years. He is currently the university's Senior Associate Director of Athletics for Marketing and Communications. The men basketball writers are saluting Stephen for his years of service, for his openness, his friendship to so many people in college sports, and particularly for his considerations, efficiency, and help when it comes to dealing with the media. Stephen, the term good guy has never fit anyone better. Our congratulations.
Good evening, everyone. First things first, sit tight, get comfortable. I promise I did my best to keep this speech under 15 minutes. And if I did my best, I mean it's only slightly. Just kidding. I'm incredibly honored and deeply touched to receive the Mike Cohen Good Guy Award from the Metropolitan Basketball Writers Association. Thank you so much for this recognition. Being called a good guy in this business might be the highest compliment you can get. As I prepared my speech for this evening, I looked back at the incredible list of honorees. The who's who of the media and communications world, many close friends and colleagues. I'm truly honored to have my name added to that list. There are a few very special people in attendance I want to acknowledge this evening. First, my father Dennis, thank you for always showing me the value of hard work and integrity. My brother Howard, who's always been in my corner, and my best friends James and Beth, who are also here this evening. You've all been my support system, and I couldn't ask for better people in my life. To my Hofstra family, thank you. Rick Cole Jr., our Vice President, Director of Athletics, J.R. Tinian, our Assistant Vice President, my colleague and friend Len Storos, and our entire Hofstra basketball staff, led by Speedy Claxton. You have all not only been incredible colleagues, but all great friends as well. I'm lucky to work alongside people who care so deeply about what they do. And I have to mention my mother, Sina, who I know will be incredibly proud tonight. I carry her with me in everything I do, and I know tonight she's smiling down at me. Tonight, as I looked around the room and earlier saw Coach right here, what a thrill. For those of you who don't know, I was actually Coach Wright's first ever employee at Hofstra University as a student manager. That's right. I clearly launched Coach Wright on a pretty decent career path. Some would say Hall of Fame worthy. Finally, a heartfelt thank you to Chuck, Greg, and everyone at the Metropolitan Basketball Writers Association. Your work, your commitment to this sport, and to storytelling means so much to all of us who have spent our careers in college basketball. In my career and profession, you never dream of being recognized like this, and today I'm truly honored. Thank you so much.
To present the Division I Women's Awards, Doug Feinberg, Women's College Basketball Editor at the Associated Press and a member of our Men Writers Executive Committee.
Good news, we're in the fourth quarter. Right? Just got the women and men left for Division I. Before I get started and call it the first and second team, I actually got an email about an hour and a half ago. This person doesn't know this yet, but for his time serving New York City basketball, hoping to get the awards right now, and 46 years of doing the Met Writers Dinner Association, the email I got today is that in the class of 2025 New York City Basketball Hall of Fame, our own Stogel is getting on. Chuck, well deserved. Congratulations very much on that. If I can ask the Division I first and second team women's the basketball players to come up to the podium. It'll be wonderful. As they're walking up, I want to take a second to acknowledge Zaida Gonzalez from Stony Brook, who's here tonight to be the third team. Congrats on that award. First and second team. Lachey Dwyer earned Big East Defensive Player of the Year this year for St. John's. They had her presence felt on both ends of the floor during her senior season for the Johnnies. After spending her first 3 years at Miami, she averaged 13.4 points, 3.0 steals, 4.3 rebounds, and 2.3 assists per game. So congrats on that one. Next, Katie Lambereau of Fairfield. She had a breakout campaign for the Stags this year. She set career highs in points, assists, and rebounds. She was named the All-MAC second team after finishing the top 5 in the conference in assists and steals per game. Fairfield made the NCAA tournament this year and won that conference again. And third, Jada Eads of Seton Hall. She averaged 13.8 points per game, which is the third highest scoring average by a freshman in Seton Hall history. She also had a career best 27 against Georgetown and finished the season with the first 2 double-doubles of her career. Eads also earned the Met Rookie of the Year honors. Congrats on that one, Jada, for being the Met Rookie of the Year. On to the first team. Megan Anderson of Fairfield. Megan earned her second straight recognition by the Met Writers Association after claiming second team honors last season. The sophomore Roadrunner led the Stags with 14.8 points per game, highlighted by a 27-point effort in the MAC championship game, beating her to be named the MAC championship MVP. Congratulations. Next up, Riley Weiss of Columbia. Riley averaged a team-leading 17.8 points to go with 3.5 rebounds, 1.3 assists, and 1.1 steals. She was first team All-Ivy for this, ranking second in the league in points per game, total points, and field goals made. The sophomore is also lethal from the three-point range, ranking 10th in the NCAAs in total threes made with 96. She's number 6 in 3 points made per game and top 75 in three-point percentage. She led the Ivies in all 3 of those categories. Congrats, Ryan. And last but certainly not least, Faith Masonius of Seton Hall. Faith had first team All-Met honors, averaging 15 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 2.8 assists. And we'll talk about her more in a minute as the Met Writers Player of the Year. Next up, I'd like to call up the Met Writers Coach of the Year, Megan Griffith. Megan earned the Matt Dixon Coach of the Year for the second time in 3 seasons. She guided the Lions to their 3rd straight Ivy League title, their first outright one, and the second ever at-large bid to the NCAA tournament for the school. They took down Washington in the first 4 to earn the program's first ever NCAA tournament win. Columbia finished 24-7, and now has had 4 straight 20-win seasons and 3 regular season Ivy titles under Coach Griffith's watch. I've had the pleasure of actually broadcasting some of Columbia's games the last couple of years, and was there for their first win in the NCAA tournament. Coach, congratulations on a wonderful season.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Chuck, and the Med Writers. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm really proud of our players. Only one of them is here tonight with me. 2 of them are doing senior things in their senior spring, but I really believe I have one of the best jobs in the country, and it's all because what we do is very transformational. We have no players in the transfer portal, which is something I'm proud to say. And this is Columbia is a place that's a dream come true. I play here. I'm going into my 10th season, and I did not think I would be here still. And honestly, I again, like I said, I think I have one of the best jobs in the country. Major thanks to our athletic director, Peter Pilling, and our deputy athletic director, Jackie Blackhead, who's here tonight. But thank you, everybody. So many amazing players and coaches here in this room that it's a true honor to be a part of this night with all of you. Thank you.
And finally, I'd like to call Faith back up here, along with her coach, Tony Gazella, to say a few words about the Met Riders Player of the Year. As they're coming up, I'll say that Faith is actually the 5th different Seton Hall player ever to win this award. Jody Brooks, Dana Wine, Deidre Simmons, and Lauren Park Lane. I think we'll go to the video first on this page. So let's go to the video.
That last picture of Faith doesn't tell everything about it. I don't know what else does. First of all, I just want to congratulate our leader and our tremendous commissioner, who is such an advocate of women's sports, Val Ackerman, on that award. Well deserved. Also another Big East person who's a tremendous important part of the piece of Big East, and be very hard to replace. And my golfing partner, John Piquette, congratulations, John. To my staff, thank you for coming. Again, we have an award winner, a champion award winner here in Dee Simmons. Congratulations, Dee. Next to our Rookie of the Year, J.D. Eads. Congratulations as well. I want to recognize 2 important people. I'm sure Faith will as well. But her mom, a great coach in her own right, and a wonderful person, Ellen Nasonis. Thank you for joining us tonight. And Faith's wonderful fiance, whose birthday is tonight, Shay. Congratulations. We're very brief, but I will tell you this right now. This young lady is named so appropriately. The definition of faith is a deeply held belief, trust, or confidence in something or someone, often without the need for evidence or proof. It extends to trust in the unknown. And all of us who are in this profession right now know there's so much unknown. And it's so difficult, and what we go through each day is very troubling, nerve-wracking, use any adjective you like. But this young lady has made it all worth it. She not only came into the program and had great stats and did so many things, but it's her faith in her coaching staff and her teammates, and how she took this program from a program that was very good to a program that was excellent based on her name, faith, trust, work ethic. There wasn't one time she ever did not give her all. And the example that she brought and led our team was something I've never seen in 30 plus years. And I'm going to miss her as a player, and I've done this for over 30 years, and there'll be never a player I'll miss more. She's a wonderful, wonderful young woman. She's an amazing person, and I'm proud to call her a Seton Hall gal. Faith Nasonis.
In terms of the presentation for our Division I men's first and second teams, we are well aware that a high number of personal conflicts have prevented many of the players from attending tonight. So at this time, we would like to call our two All-Men first team players from St. John's, R.J. Lewis Jr., Zuby Ejiofor, up here to the stage, please, gentlemen, along with assistant coach Ricky Johns, and from our executive committee, Tyler Ferry. Our Coach of the Year award is newly named this year in memory of legendary St. John's coach Lou Carnazecca. Our winner, Rick Pitino from St. John's, could not be with us tonight. And before we hear from assistant coach Ricky Johns, please, let's turn to the video screens. We'll hear from Coach Pitino.
There is an argument he is the greatest college basketball coach ever. Rick Pitino was brought in to pave the road back to glory. That moment has arrived.
There's a new sheriff in the Big East, and his name is Rick Pitino.
I want to thank you so much for the Coach of the Year. Everyone, it's extra special to me because it's all of you. There's no greater person in our game that represents class, ability, hard work, and good months. So on behalf of St. John's and the basketball team and coaching staff, thank you very much for this great honor.
Now here's Coach John.
Just a few words on behalf of Coach. I'm obviously extremely honored to be able to receive the award on behalf of him. Having worked for him for the past 5 years, I've seen 2 programs that he's been able to take over. Previously, I owned it together. Obviously, take over St. John's and being able to witness his incredible ability to lead, to teach, and be a mentor. It's priceless. This award represents not just his achievements, but the collective success of our entire team and our athletic department, which is also garnered with his support and vision. He has a remarkable ability to be able to get the best out of you, to be able to have you learn from your mistakes, as well as celebrate your success. Obviously, in our second season together, being able to get the Big East regular season title, obviously the conference champion tournament, also going 31-5 in our season, in our second year. I just want to be able to convey how proud I am, as well as the team, to be able to represent him. We carry with us not only with his gratitude, but also the values he instills in all of us. Being passionate, hungry, and driven for continuous improvement. So thank you for the opportunity to be on.
Thank you. As you can read in our program, this is only the 6th time in Med Riders history that 3 players from the same school have been selected on the All-Med first team. Each time, that school has been St. John's. Let me tell you a little bit about Zuby Ejiofor. A junior, started 35 games, named to the All-Big East first team, selected the conference's most improved player. He averaged 14.7 points, was 3rd in the Big East with 8.1 rebounds. And now, our Frank J. Haggerty Award for the 2024-25 season, R.J. Lewis from St. John's. If I could have everyone from St. John's back up here just for a moment, please. Ricky, R.J., Zuby. Let's take a look at the video screens for just a few highlights in a spectacular season for R.J. and the Red Storm. here now to introduce our player of the year. Once again, he's the coach, Ricky Johns, and then we'll hear from RJ.
Yep, just a few words about RJ and his journey. I think it's important to start there because he was a late bloomer. We had the opportunity to recruit him at Iona, and it's interesting. He played for some obscure AU team, which is now on the upper circuit, the SOH League. We see him in Sam Hansel, another young man, Angel Montas. It was interesting. He's playing for this group of guys, and his family's always been there to support him in his life, and his dad's had great experience playing 50 plus years internationally. He had the background. So like, all right, the pedigree's there, the talent's there, he had strong legs, slimmer upper body. And then we had guys at his position, Walter played junior. We had a few other guys, and he ended up going to UMass. I think his dad played for Frank Martin, and there was a connection there. He goes to UMass, and we take over at St. John's with Coach Martino, and RJ's looking for another opportunity, and we're like, hey coach, we can't miss this opportunity. We've got to be able to get RJ. He's going to be the guy for us. Up until like the 12th hour, RJ makes a decision. Coach has to go, fly to Miami, see him, visit with the family, and we almost missed out on him again. It's just kind of procrastinating, trying to figure out what's the best scenario. Fast forward 2 years later, he helped rejuvenate our program and make us, 31-5. We're at the top of the East, and we've got a brighter horizon because of these two gentlemen here today. So,
good evening. Everybody's having a wonderful night. Shout out to Coach Reggie. Give you a little quick synopsis of my whole life story. So, I think this is a great award. It's a great honor. Being from Miami, just being embraced in the New York metropolitan area, with the rest of the world. And the love that I got was second to none in New York. I definitely had the best fans. Nothing like the Garden. It was truly electric, and I had a great chance and opportunity to play there. And the last 6-7 games, we sold out the Garden. Like the New York Knicks, so it just felt great. And, it's truly like, the coach said, it's truly just being a part of something special. We brought back the regular season championship, this tournament title. That's what we use. Truly thankful to be able to support. Thank you to all the writers who awarded me this great achievement. Shout out to my dogs who want to take care of business next year. Congratulations on the award winners that are here tonight. Thank you so much. Last, to my parents, my family, that's my rock. That's the friend. God has put this whole thing together. My mom's here. But I'm just truly special, truly blessed for this opportunity. Thank you and God bless.
As we conclude our awards program, I just want to leave everyone with those meaningful words from that great New York Yankee philosopher, Yogi Berra, who said, "Congratulations, everybody. Thank you for making this evening so necessary. Please, everyone, drive carefully. Please arrive home safely." Thank you.